Hey guys, I'm back again. So this is the guitar body. Yeah, it's really nice. I don't know, I really like the shape. Um, yeah, I'm out of breath. Sorry, it's kind of really late. I'm just kind of exhausted now. So, um, yeah, one of my friends said it was kind of like an SG body, and that's kind of the look I was going for. Kind of wanted it to have that um, the edgy look, but I didn't want it to be too elegant. I didn't want to look like it. I didn't want to make it look like something that was one uncomfortable to hold and play and everything, and something that would look better on a wall rather than actually playing it. Because I know there's a lot of guitar bodies out there that are like that. Like, you look at it, oh, it's so cool. It'd be so cool to play and all that, but then you kind of start thinking about it, and it's unplayable. You wouldn't be able to hold it, even if you um even just playing it, like like a lot of people will mistake looks for playability, and it's just I don't know. I mean, you can still have a good looking guitar and have it play nice. It's just a lot of people will mistake that. So I wanted it to have a really nice edgy look, but still be playable. So I didn't want to put too much because I was originally gonna do um a little bit of a cutout right here, but then I just thought, it's a little bit much. I don't need it, and I still want it to look like a guitar. So yeah, I kind of looked at the SG, and I looked at a few other um, guitar models, like what I think I'm pretty sure I said it last time, some ESP models in the SG, and I kind of wanted to make an edgy guitar, but again, wanted it to be playable. So I was kind of thinking about this maybe even being an issue, and it's really not. This will rest on your leg just fine. It usually have this crook in it. It's not sharp right here. So I'm gonna rest on my leg. And as you can see, some of the body hangs off here, but I mean it's normal with the guitar. But yeah, this isn't piercing my leg or anything. I can push down a little bit. So, but yeah, it's really nice. Now the body itself, I mean, last guy that had it punctured holes in it and everything. I guess they got bored, or it was probably from me dinking around with it. But it doesn't matter, and I still kept the nice shape right here. I didn't fill it in or anything. So, as you can probably tell already, obviously, this is from a strat, as I've said in the last video. Um, so what I'm going to do is I have the old pickguard over here. I'll go grab it. It kind of hangs off a little bit right here. Then it gets off right here a little bit more. But otherwise, it still kind of matches the shape. So what I'm going to do is it just barely makes it right here. But what I want to do is I really don't like guitars with pick guards that shouldn't have pick guards. Like a lot of the Ibanez guitars and some of the ESP guitars and all that. This just isn't a guitar that should really have a pick guard or should have like a generic pick guard. It needs to either fill as much as it possibly can or just not have a pick guard at all. Now, Strat is one thing because it's what a Strat is known for, or not really known for, but it has that classic shape. Now, any other guitar, it either needs to fill up a lot of space, as this does, or it just needs to not have a pickguard. That's why, if I ever do get an SG, you'll probably end up hearing me complaining about it or really loving it because I don't like the half pickguard that it has. If you're gonna have a pickguard on it, make it to where it's full. Like, I don't know. Some of you probably know what I'm saying, and some of you just think I'm talking nonsense. But I prefer the full pickguard or none at all. So with this, I really have to kind of make it integrate with the actual shape of the guitar. So, like right here, what I'm gonna do, I'm not using this. This is going on that part of the guitar over here because some of the, I don't know, it's a little bit wonky. I might not even use this because whenever I turn this knob, You can't see it too well because of the video quality, but it's moving the pot on here, and sometimes we'll move the pot on here too. And also, the volume and tone knobs are switched, so I don't know if this is actually the tone, or if this is actually the volume, or if the pots are just switched and this is actually the volume. So, but the electronics are good, or the pickups. And the other reason why I'm not using it is because I'm using a humbucker in here, or a double coil. And I can do that because it has a nice cavity right here, and rather than just a normal E. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a loaded pickguard. I'm going to take that pickup out, and usually there's only there's only 2 wires connecting to it. So I'll just cut that, put in like a high output pickup, and then solder those back on. I don't even need to mess with the electronics on here really. Not too much. I might have to change it to where it's not messing, like it's not pushing too much or not getting enough, but it should be good, especially if it's going from a humbucker to a humbucker. So I'm gonna put a high output so it kind of has a little bit more of a metal edge rather than having a twangy Fender, or not Fender, but just a Stratocaster sound really. And I'm also going to be cutting the pickguard a little bit. So if you can imagine this with a really nice Seymour Duncan or something, highly unlikely with this guitar, but just imagine. I'm going to sharpen this up a little bit, maybe bring it to a little bit of a point. That might mean that this is going to get a little bit edgy right here, so I don't know. I mean, I could always just buy pickguard material, but I mean, I'm lazy and I don't have tools. I did all this at school. So I'm going to obviously trim this down. This is going to come to a nice point as well. And then what I'm thinking about doing with this curve, I think it's a little bit too curvy for this guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have it come out and then hit right here, and then it'll curve in a little bit to kind of go with these curves. So I'll stop the curve right here, make my own curve going out, and then come down to the bridge. But other than that, it's going to stay just about the same. Now the problem that I have with that is that means that the pickguard has to be, the entire body has to be a main, like a monocolor. I can't have like a burst or anything. I mean, I could, but it would highlight the pickguard a lot, and I really don't want the pickguard to be uber noticeable like it is right now. You know, I kind of want it to be, let's say I want to paint it black, or get a black pickguard, and then it would be pretty inconspicuous. You wouldn't be seeing a flashy guitar, and that's kind of what I want. I want it to look nice, but I don't want it to be, again, something that would look better on a wall than in your lap. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm probably going to paint it black and then get a black pickguard, because it seems like the easiest and just the nicest. Not just because, you know, I love black. I mean, I do, but I mean, black and white just kind of seem to be professional colors whenever it comes to this kind of thing, rather than having like a weird candy red or something. And that's nothing against those colors. It's just, you know, it's a little bit harder to find a candy red pickguard and like a very, very translucent purple or something. You know what I mean. So I kind of have to go with very simple colors like white or black. I mean, I could try like a red and black tortoiseshell thing, but you know, that'd be a little difficult. So most likely this is either going to be white or black, because those are the easiest kind of pickguards that you can find. And I'm buying a loaded pickguard because I don't feel like going around finding little inconspicuous little things and then wiring them all together, because I really don't trust myself with that. Oh yeah, another thing is this curve right here that I'm going to have to cut out. But I digress. So but yeah, that's all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to take the pickup out and then switch it for a nice one. I also need to buy a neck and a tremolo system. I do want a Floyd Rose, but from my experience with them, they're very finicky, and they require a lot of maintenance whenever you're tuning. Like whenever you're just playing, they're really great because you don't have to worry about detuning. But whenever you do get detuned, that's whenever you really have to worry, because then it gets very, very finicky if you have a bad detune or whatever it is. And also you have to router out a little box right here. So it's I don't know. If I buy a guitar and already has it in there, then great. But if not, I don't know if I want to go through the trouble and possibly mark up my guitar. But here's where the problem is with that. This little crack right here goes through the entire guitar, not all the way up, but it goes straight down all the way through. Not that big of a deal, it's just if I try screwing anything in there, it's just going to keep splitting. So I kind of almost have to put a Floyd Rose system or a similar style tremolo system that is only screwed in with 2 screws. So, and I also have this little piece. It's right here, so I have that if I absolutely need it, but yeah, so I need to get a neck and bridge, and then I'll be all set for being able to play. Doesn't mean I'll be able to plug it in anytime. Oh yeah, and a jack, but it doesn't mean I will be able to plug it in anytime soon, but at least it's playable, and then I can test everything after that. So another thing that you can notice is I wasn't able to get in this crevice, and this is, you can probably imagine it was a little bit difficult. I was kind of able to get some nice edge on there, and then I did a little bit to the back because, as far as edging goes, because I didn't want it, again, it didn't, to me it doesn't really matter what's on the back. And I also did a little bit of work on the neck here. I didn't make it like crazy different, but I made it to where, I don't know, for me it's a little bit more comfortable than just a slight of a curve. So, but yeah, I'll update you guys on this whenever I can get parts, and that's probably going to be a little while. So, be looking forward to that. Bye.